All right, my friends. Hello, 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 and hello again. Happy Friday. How is everyone doing? I am so excited to be here. If you're new to this platform, to this YouTube channel, to this Facebook channel, to whatever channel you're using to watch us, even on Instagram, my name is Alvin C. Paul. I'm the host and founder of God and Gigs. We are here to help you to thrive in every area of your creative life by connecting the dots between your spiritual life and your creative life. And today we are talking from struggle to success. I want to kick struggle out for the next 3 months. That's my goal, our goal together. Let's kick struggle to the curb for the next 3 months and let's invite success. Now, as soon as I said that, I know some of you might have said, oh boy, here we go. Someone else is just going to give you all the fairy tale stuff of how everything's supposed to be amazing. Notice, I didn't say we're going to kick out hard work. I didn't say we're going to kick out diligence. Our good friend Shay Bynes talked about grace over grind, and I love the podcast episode we did with her, where she said that God never put hard work in the Bible, but he did put diligence in the Bible. So I'm not saying that we're not going to do diligent work, but struggle and kind of like this kind of, doing all the things and not getting any results. That part I want to kick to the curb. So if you're new to us, thank you. Say hello in the chat. I am going to make sure I'm checking in with our Instagram as well, because I can only see Facebook and YouTube unless I am very careful with my windows. There we go. I can now see that we have a couple people joining us on Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Lenny Harris, AmandaDiaz.com is over there. So first, let's talk a little bit before we get into everything. We're going to talk about the struggle to success. All these things I got to be careful. All these S's. There's a lot of S's today. So there's from struggle to success, and we want to take it to a summer of success. So if you're watching now, make sure that you can hear me. Comment, please. Like this video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like this on Facebook. Let us know you're watching. Okay. So first thing I want to remind you about is there's so much going on in God and Gigs right now. So many cool things that are happening. I have some special announcements to make, and actually it is the day before my birthday. I am turning the big 50. I'm trying to embrace it, trying not to hide it. I know I told my family I did not want to do anything, and now I realize, well, I'm only going to turn 50 once. maybe I should have planned a little better. Maybe I should be like more like, yay, look at me. But I really want the celebration to be about you, because in these 49 and 364 days of life, I've really realized that all of my blessings have come from my relationships and the things that I've shared with other people. So this weekend, even though it's my birthday, I want to give the presents to you. So as of, I would say probably give me till about 4 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to be sending some of these special announcements to the people who are on the Creative Checkup newsletter. I'm only going to share it with email, these special announcements, these cool things that are happening, both in my music and in my God and Gigs platform. So if you are not on the mailing list, you want to go to godandgigs.com/info before 4 o'clock Eastern. I may send it by 5. Definitely by 5, I'll send it by 5, because otherwise it's like, it's the next day. So it doesn't matter. But I'm going to make sure I have this out and sent to you by 5 o'clock Eastern if you're watching this on May 31st. And if you're watching afterward, you probably already heard the special news. And now you're like, yay, I know what it is. But you didn't get to hear it first. So that's for those of you who are watching live or today on the 31st. You got to get your info in so that I can send this to you. So sign up at godandgigs.com/info and you will be the first to find out this first of my presents to you on my birthday weekend. Okay? The presents go to you, but you have to sign up or else you're going to have to wait like everybody else. And like I said, I'll probably send that email out probably by 5 Eastern. Okay? And it's really exciting. I have to admit, God has been extremely gracious. And by the way, I want to show you how you can have these same kind of wins. And we're going to be talking about that today. I want to make sure that I also shout out everybody that's already in our creative community. Let me pull that up real quick. I always have struggles to find it. I always have to go to like 3 different pages because I can never remember where I put it. I always have to go like 3 different pages to find it. Wait, I know where to go. And then you're watching me do this and you're like, what? This is not very good. Organization. This guy's going to teach me about organization. I never said I was super organized. I have a lot of organization when it comes to the stuff that I do in my business, but on the computer, I oftentimes get lost. And like, this is one of those times where I always seem to get lost when I try to find stuff. It's in documents. It's in all this stuff. Why can't I find it whenever I need it? There it is, finally. All right, so now I can share my screen. I just got to get better at monitor. Maybe I need an extra monitor. Maybe somebody will bless me with a new monitor for my birthday. That would be really cool if you want to get me a monitor. So I want to shout out all of our members that are currently in God and Gigs 360. This is our membership for creatives who want to grow in everyday life, who want to grow in their creative gifting, in their spiritual gifting, in their relationships. 360 means everything you do in your creative life should be connected to God and connected to other people and your purpose. Your people, your platform, your purpose, all that should go together. You should not be struggling. And these people are the ones who have connected with each other in our exclusive app. We have our own app. That's right. If you pull out your phone and you wanted to go straight to the God and Gigs 360 app, you could. This is where we hang out. We don't deal with the Facebook. We do have a Facebook group. Those of you in the Facebook, hello. I'm not saying you're not important or that group is not amazing. It's just we have to deal with Facebook. And if you're like me, like you're really getting sick of Facebook, I'm sick of bots. I'm sick of people following me on bot accounts following me. I'm sick of trying to scroll past all these suggested threads, suggested feeds. Like, oh God, like I am so done with Meta right now. Like Meta can just, metastasize. Like it can go somewhere. Okay. So this group here, these folks have the 360 guests have bought one product. They've joined one challenge and they are in the 360 guest program. So they get to hang out and they get to be in our forums pretty much as long as they want. But the 360 Gold members, which I hope you can see on the screen. Can you see it? Yes. So the 360 Gold members, they have invested and they are members of our mastermind level. So they get monthly calls. They get access to usually all of our courses, our creative, I can't say all the C's today, our Confident Creative Blueprint. All of that is available to them. Our Inspired Creators Collective, that is where we collect all of our workshops. I've had over, I think at this point, 15 workshops on taxes, on how to structure your business, on credit cards, on loans, on how to get your email service up, on how to design your pages, how to build gigs, how to be profitable as a musician, like everything, you guys. So all that is there for those who have joined Gold. So shout out to Simony, to Janine. Some of these are also established creative experts. So Janine Hammond, Yoshika Green, Deb Brown, LaShonda, Samantha Mabry, they are all established creative experts. So they also get to hang out in God and Gigs 360 Gold because their contribution is their knowledge. And they have already been on the podcast and they are amazing between being able to, LaShonda is the YouTube queen, tutorial queen. Samantha, all things financial. Pamela, Deb Brown, Mara is a sales wizard and a prophetic artist. Yoshika Green is amazing at grant writing and understanding how to get funds for your creative business. So some of these folks are people who literally have just been invited to stay around in Gold. And then, of course, shout out to Leah and Charmaine and Rita and Pamela and all of you guys. Simony, our ambassador. So all these ladies, Precious is there hanging out because she's been grandfathered in. Precious, I know you may not get a chance to hang in all the time because Precious, you're always on the road, but you are still part of our Gold group. Yeah, so you guys see, these are the people. So if you want to join these folks, I'm going to tell you some ways to join them this summer, because this may be one of the things you need to do this summer. If you're watching on replay, by the way, also hashtag replay, because I know not everybody can join us live. So that is our shout out to all of our members in God at Gigs 360. All right, let me do one more check-in with Instagram. See if I can see you guys, because I got all these screens I got to find. I definitely got to get a new monitor. Like I said, there's my Christmas present. If you guys want to get me a Christmas present. Cece Holtz, welcome. Good to see you on Facebook. I'm sorry, on Instagram as well. All right. But let's get into the actual meat of what we want to talk about today. And once again, I did not prepare notes for this because it's really just on my heart. And it's a situation, it's something that I want to make sure that is no longer a question mark in anyone's mind in God and Gigs. I don't want anyone to question over the summer if you are, we talked about this back last week with our cash flow discussion. If you are called to be a creative artist, is it okay that you are struggling to see any kind of benefit to your creative life, to your bank account, to your lifestyle? If you are doing this as a side hustle, if you're creating on the side but you got a 9-to-5, if you're just like, why am I doing this? Like, I am spending so much time doing shirts, making this, creating this, singing songs, writing songs, and there's just it feels like it's a pipe dream at this point. I feel like I'm just throwing all this time away. God hasn't brought me any kind of understanding of where my customers are, who am I supposed to sing to, who am I supposed to play for. I'm just spinning my wheels. I want to make sure that is absolutely no longer the case for anyone in the God and Gigs community by the end of the summer. By the end of the summer, my goal is that nobody will ever say in our group again, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm here. I don't understand. Why can't I make money? My goal is to kick struggle to the curb for the next 3 months for you and for everybody else in this group. Okay? I really believe we can do this. I believe that by the end of the summer, no one else in our group will say, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this. There's no money coming in. There's no this coming in. There's no that coming in. I think by the end of this summer, every single one of us could be clear about our purpose, our platform, and the people that we're called to. I believe that. I believe that you watching right now, because if you're connected and you're watching, here's the thing. You are gifted. Most likely you have several gifts. You probably do 6 different things, super well. sing, play, dance, act, draw, write. Like you do one of those things really well. Okay, me, I play piano. I am, as I mentioned, my birthday's coming up. This weekend, I get to perform in a really cool show down here in South Florida. We're performing. My wife gets to sing in this performance. So it was our first time gigging together, like twice. We've done actually gigs together. Like this is so cool. Like I get to spend my birthday with the people I love, performing music that I love because I play. And like literally, this is my childhood. We're playing music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. If you're in South Florida, you should check it out. It's called Remember the Times. It's a super cool performance. So I get to do what I love, perform, and get paid for it. I get to podcast and get paid for it. I'm now, oh gosh, I want to give away. I can't give it away. Okay, don't give it away. I get to do this for a living. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't question marks every once in a while. If you've ever struggled, matter of fact, let's make sure I ask you some questions because I don't want to just riff. If you have felt at any point in the last 12 months that you are doing the wrong thing and that creative life is just not for you because any of this side hustle, whether you're full-time creative, part-time creative, church musician, church creative, if you have felt in the last 12 months that you're in the wrong place and that you're not getting any financial or tangible benefit, put a me in the comments. Okay? So if that's you, put me in the comments. Because we need the number one comments help us with the algorithms. So if you comment, it helps us remind people that we're actually live. And then 2, comments help me realize that we're not alone, that I'm not alone. And if you're watching and you can't comment, I understand, totally understand. But if you can comment, it makes a big difference in both the algorithm and helps us discuss this conversation. So it's not a monologue. I want it to be a dialogue. So if you've ever struggled and just like, why am I doing this? Like bank account zero. Like I said, I talked about this last week. I went through this morning. This morning, it was like a little bit of a, oh my God, like why? Like, has anybody ever asked yourself why God, you blessed me to do this? You gave me a gifting and yet I don't see why. Because I don't see any money and I don't see people and I don't see likes. And these other people are making, 6 figures, 6-figure this, 6-figure that. And why? My goal is that this summer, no one else would ask that question in our God and Gifts community. Okay? If you're in God and Gifts 360, you'll no longer wonder if you question that question. You'll no longer ask that question. If you're in our Facebook group, you'll no longer ask that question. If you follow us on social media, you'll no longer ask that question. Now, if you are just kind of like a lurker and you're not really participating in the community, you may still ask that question. But that's my goal. And I hope it's your goal. I hope it's your goal that this summer will be the last one that you question your calling or that you don't have strategies in place that will help you achieve your goals. That you will no longer be wandering, confused. Oh my gosh, what should I do next? Because let me tell you first, let's go. I hate to start with the negative, but let's talk about what happens if you don't change anything. If you don't change something this summer, if for the next 3 months you stay, let's say for some of you, if you're watching and now you're watching a replay, share what you do. But let's say you do nothing different the next 3 months. You do the exact same thing you've been doing. What does August and September look like if you change nothing? If it's for like some of us, your bank account is still empty. You still have no email list. You still have no new clients or new ideas or opportunities. You're still working on the same idea that you were starting at the beginning of January, but you still haven't made any progress on it. And now it's September. You're still confused about whether or not God called you to this, and you're like praying, okay, God, show me. I thought this would happen by now. I hate to start with the negative, but I'd rather set this up to see what you don't want. Because sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know what you want till you know what you don't want. Am I right about that? I see Amanda over here. Let me go over to Facebook. I'm not Facebook, Instagram. Amanda, thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for sharing that because I know I have to switch back and forth to see all the comments. Thank you for being honest about that. Yes, I'm not alone. You're not alone. So the question is, what do we change in the next 3 months so that that doesn't stay the same? What do we change in the next 3 months, 90 days, to make sure we're no longer feeling that? Because here's what the Bible says. And I think I've been nervous for years about quoting the Bible, and I don't want to look pastoral and try to speak for God, but his word speaks. So if I speak his word, I'm safe. So when the Bible says that hope deferred makes the heart sick, how many heart sick creatives? Have you been a heart sick creative? If you've been a heart sick creative, I wish I had my Bible right next to me, but I don't have it. I will pull out that verse. I'm not sure which verse that is. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. But if you've been a heart sick creative, honestly, that is like a not a spiritual death. Like, I don't want to go too deep, but it is like it's like dying slowly. It's like you've got this dream on the inside and you're just plowing away and it's like you just feel it's like your heartbeat is just going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. Because you're called to create life and beauty through your art, through your gifting, through your calling, through your ministry. And yet it's just like, it just feels like down, down, down. So if the Bible says hope deferred makes the heart sick, what we want is healthy creatives. What you want is to be a healthy creative. You don't want to be a heart sick creative. You want to be a heart healthy creative. So how do we get heart healthy? Well, my friends, I want to go back, and I'm kind of kicking myself here because what I'm about to tell you is something I've been telling the entire community for the last 7 years. But I realize I have not said it out loud probably ever on the live stream. Yeah, Amanda, you said inconsistent. Yeah, it's that inconsistency, and I think that inconsistency is born out of partly discipline, but also partly out of just fatigue. Sometimes I think we don't show up not because we don't know it's the right thing to do, but it's just because we just don't have it, and we feel like we're not making any headway, and it just drags your motivation into the mud. Am I making sense here? If I'm making sense, just let me know in the comments. Just say it makes sense. And of course, share this with anybody because I feel like this is going to be a freeing creative checkup for somebody. All right, so let's talk about the solutions. We talked about what happens if you don't change something. If you don't change something in June, if you don't change something in July, if you don't change something in August. If you don't change in the next 3 months as a creative and you're struggling, and we already talked about at the very beginning at the open that God said we can be diligent. I think he said strive. I think he does use the word strive for this, strive for that. He calls us good soldiers, so we're supposed to work hard. But I don't think he ever said that, I think Paul said at one point that you have not yet struggled to the point of shedding of blood. So we're not even talking about that. See, that's my point. Like, if you're talking about struggling to the point of shedding of blood, like that's some deep stuff. So that's between you and God. Amanda says, makes sense. Inconsistency in income and just in general with posting and creating, etc. I love this. Let me see. No, I'm not going to mess up because I don't think I can. I wish I could I can't. I would love if I could post your comments, Amanda, on for everybody else, but Instagram and Facebook, again, don't play nice. So they don't allow us to share the comments that you put on, but I would put your comments on screen if I could. But thank you for sharing that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Inconsistency in income, inconsistency in posting and sharing what you have. I have these 3 S's that I share every day. I want to make someone smile. I want to share a solution, and I want to solve a problem. Every day. Hopefully I've made you smile by today, by just like telling you my birthday's tomorrow. Hopefully I made you smile. And then solving a problem is what I'm trying to do right now. And I'm trying to share a solution to that problem. So today I'm following my 3 S's of what I want to do every day to create value in the world. So here are the things that I haven't shared, and they go right back literally to my book. If you can't see this way, there's my book. God and Gigs, Succeed as a Musician Without Sacrificing Your Faith. And so in that book, I wrote down 7 points to becoming a confident creative. This is also what's in the Confident Creative Blueprint, which is in God and Gigs 360. But my pastor said something this weekend that floored me when I realized I have not said this out loud to people that might be struggling. And this is the antidote to struggle. What I'm about to say, my pastor said it. And then when he said it, I was like, that's right. I know this, but I haven't said it out loud, and I wrote about it. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, duh. Like, people need this. If you are feeling like you're struggle, here is the word that is the antidote for struggle. The antidote for struggle is service. Let me say it again, because it probably doesn't make sense. The antidote to struggle is service. Now, you might say right away, well, wait, maybe it's a struggle to serve. Maybe struggle, I am trying so hard to do things. So that means like, no, that doesn't make any sense. But let me break it down. The antidote to struggle is service, because service, the way I'm about to explain it to you and kind of break it down in terms of what we share in the Complete Creative Blueprint, is how you go through these struggles and see yourself on the other side. And this is what you have to do this summer. This summer, you have to take these 7 steps to see how struggle is the wrong way to look at it. It's not struggle if it's achieving its goal. I don't struggle. If it's something is achieving its goal, it's not struggle anymore. It's service. It could be sacrifice, but I'm winning in this. A struggle is when something like you're losing. Okay. So let me break this down before I get too deep and make sure this makes sense. And again, if you're watching this right now, please share it with someone. I do feel like that this is a message that your friend that you just thought of needs to hear. And they can watch it later. Don't worry. It goes on replay. If you send them the link on Instagram, they can watch it later. I will share this as a shareable reel or video. And if you're watching on YouTube, like it, subscribe, please. Comments help a lot. Okay, we're about 850 something subscribers. And the reason I say that is not because I want the subscribers. It's because I just said I need to share, I need to serve, and I need to make someone smile. So I want to do that for whoever's called to that ministry in this platform. So help them out, send it to them. All right. So the 7 things that you got to do this summer, all the S's I said today. The first thing you have to do is that you have to stay connected. You have to stay connected. The first S in service, or the only S in service, the first letter is stay connected. You need to stay connected to God, stay connected to your family, and stay connected to your local church. The reason that we're starting this with stay connected is because if you are heartsick, if creative life is not going well, Amanda, if you're struggling with the inconsistency in the posting and the creating, the first thing that you cannot do is separate from the people that you're supposed to be serving. And the whole point of us doing this is to connect with people who need your art, who want your beauty and the life you create through your art to be exposed in their lives, to be shared, to be creative, to be interesting, to be emotional, to help them live more. So the first thing you have to do is stay connected to the local church, wherever that is, to you, God, to your prayer and your Bible study, because that's going to feed everything else. So if you have not been consistent in that, I think, is that Alex over there on Instagram? Good to see you, Alex. If you're not consistent in that, You're not going to be consistent in the posting and the creating and the income and everything else. Your first connection is what sets up everything else. So before we talk about being successful in our creative life, let's talk about being successful in our spiritual life. Stay connected to God. I'm going to go through these fast. The next one is you must establish your priorities this year, this summer. And what I mean by establish your priorities, and again, you can read all this and see in the full form in the complete creative blueprint, which again is in God Gets 360. I'll tell you how to get to that if you want to check out the entire course. Establishing your priorities means that you cannot do all the things. I just had a coaching call today with an amazing sister, but she knows I can say this out loud because I said it to her. I'm not saying anything she didn't hear, okay? So I'm not talking about her. I said, you're doing so many things, and God did not ask you to do all the things. You know why? Because the Bible says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The Bible does not say I can do all things that Christ who strengthens me at the same time. We need to pay attention to what Jesus said. We need to pay attention to what Jesus did not say. He said in Ecclesiastes, to everything there is a season, and to every time a purpose under heaven. To everything there is a season. That means a season for doing it and a season for not doing it. You've got to establish your priorities in this summer if you want things to change. If you do not, you're going to be stuck in the same situation, and you need people in your life to help you see that, because you cannot see the bottle that you're in from the inside. You don't know what the label says. You don't know that you're Coke or Pepsi. You don't know. You're in the bottle. You don't know what you're supposed to do. You need people to help you establish those priorities. Okay? I'm going to go through these quick. If you're writing these down, hopefully you're watching this on replay. You can watch the replay. Make sure. Of course, it's in my book, and it's also in the Confident Creative Blueprint in God Gets 360. Okay? R. This gets really heavy right away, guys. So, service. Stay connected. Establish your priorities. Respect the business. Y'all. Can I be real? If I can be real, say be real. Can I be real? I'm going to be real anyway, but I'm going to check the comments. Can I be real? I mean, I need to know if you guys, like, if it's okay if I'm real. Because I do not want to be, like, pushy. Again, if you're watching for the first time, you might say, okay, who is this guy? Why does it matter what he says? I have had a little bit of success doing this stuff. We're now working on, I can't tell you because it's a surprise, but working on maybe my 4th or 5th brand, and launched several different things, gotten grants, performing with artists that I love. This is and most successful thing is 27 years of marriage and 3 kids. That's my success. That's what I'm trying to share. So I don't want to be like, oh, look at me, I'm listening, listen to me. I'm trying to share the word, trying to share what's helping. So I'm going to be real for a second, okay? Wait, let me see. Did somebody say, thank you, Rita. I'm be real. Thank you. See, y'all don't understand. Let me put that. Boom. Be real. She said be real. I'm be real, Rita, because Rita's in our 360 program. She's in gold. So she knows that I'm not like just trying to throw things at you like I'm some kind of guru. This is a participatory community thing. So I'm going to be real. When I say respect the business, I am sick and tired of hearing creatives who love Jesus talk about how no one supports them. The industry's all messed up. It's too hard to make it. And you know what you're really saying? I think the Bible talks about this. I might be wrong. Good to see you, Gabe, over here on Instagram. I think you're cursing the ground that God called you to. I think when you talk about the industry as if it's the industry's fault that you're struggling, you're cursing the ground. You know who else had ground cursed underneath him? Cain. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Cain, but it's also Adam. Cursed is the ground. When you say that the reason that you're not progressing is because the industry is stacked against you, because Spotify does this and Facebook does this and it's too hard and the economy does this and then you are cursing the ground that you literally have to sow into. Because you know what? You're not going to do anything in creative life without going through these systems that are in place, unless you're like me and you're also helping to create new systems, which I'll tell you about if you get the email, and I'll tell you what I'm doing for my birthday. But Rita, I hope I'm on the right. Tell me if I'm on the right path here, Rita, because I was not planning to go this hard. I was not planning to go hard, but I'm going hard because I'm almost 50. So why not? So, yeah, y'all are cursing the ground that you want to sow into. You're salting your own earth. You're saying that you can't prosper in the very area that God has placed you. And now you're wondering why you're struggling. You're struggling because your mindset is off. You're struggling because you believe that God, like the Israelites, would put you in a place and then leave you. You, my friend, are the ones that are walking around in the wilderness for 40 years complaining. All right, let me get off this because I feel like I'm going super hard right now. I need to let up. I'm sorry. It's almost my birthday. I need to calm down. So respect the business. What was I trying to say? I was trying to say that respect the business means you have to treat your life like a business and your creative life like a business, which means you cannot not be involved in business. You need to learn how to run an ad. You need to learn the actual things that help Facebook algorithms if you're going to play that game. Or like what I would rather you do, how to build an email service network where you can send out an email and get people to pay you. Or even if, like me, you had a low month, within a couple of weeks, you can have 6 or 7 products ready to go and 6 or 7 concerts ready to sell and a way to get new income in. You need to respect the business by knowing the business. If you don't change that in 3 months, you're going to be in the same place in 3 months. You're going to be frustrated, busted, and disgusted in 3 months as a Christian creative, because God is not the one that brought this decrease to your life if you are cursing your own ground. If you're cursing your own ground, it's your fault. Now, if God has you in a place where he's asking you to be diligent, that's different. Okay, I know I just lost a viewer, and I'm hoping, and I probably made them mad. Sorry. Okay. That's enough on respect the business. 3 months. You gotta stay connected to God. Establish your priorities. Respect the business. Next thing you gotta do in the next 3 months, you gotta visualize your goals. Write them down. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain so they may run that read it. You know why some of us are not running with our vision is because we didn't follow the first part of Habakkuk. We didn't write it down. Write the vision, make it plain so they may who read it may run. If you didn't run, it's because you didn't read. And if you didn't read, it's because it's not plain. And if it's not plain, especially if you didn't write it, it's definitely not plain. You have to follow all 4 steps of Habakkuk if you want to prosper as a Christian creative. You must write it. It can't be in your head. It must be plain, simple, and to the point of what exactly you want to do. I'm giving you guys free game today. Like I'm not trying to be like snarky. Like I just like a spirit. Like I guess again because I'm getting older, I feel like I'm just gonna say what it is. I'm trying to help you. So you have to write it. You have to make it plain. You have to read it, and then you have to run. Okay? These all apply to every area of creative life. Musician, author, creative, photographer, dancer, writer, coach, consultant, entrepreneur. Any of these things that in the God and Gigs ethos of the connection between the spiritual life and the creative life, these are non-negotiables. You have to write the vision down. So what are you going to be in 3 months? What will you look like in 6 months? What will your life look like in 5 years? Okay? The Bible also says for a lack of vision, the people perish. If your vision is perishing, if you're perishing, it's probably because there's not a vision. There have been times in my life I've had a lot of issues, but I'll tell you the biggest issue always was when I had no vision. Those were the worst. When I had a vision, but a little bit of a bump in the road and things were hard, and the hardest days, the hardest days were not as hard when there was a vision. The hard days without a vision are horrible. Okay? Does everybody follow me here? If this is making sense, please let me know, because I appreciate y'all hanging in there. Let me see what Rita said. I thank you so much. This important to hear. This probably resonates with others. I hope so. And that's why I hope they will share it, Rita, because as you can see, like, it gets harder and harder to like stick with what really works. As I'm sharing this is something that's been in my book since 2017, since 2016. So this is literally me saying the same thing I've been saying for 8 years. And it's like, is this really what needs to be said? And then, like I said, my pastor said the word serve, and I realized I haven't talked about serving. And really the antidote to struggle is serving. It's the key to success. The Bible says that let any who want to be great be the servant, the greatest servant. So I have to reconnect with what I know that's both biblically sound, business sound, creatively sound, and that God knows creatives need to be connected to, because we tend to go all over the place. And this is really what I appreciate, that you hanging in there and sharing that with me and with the rest of our people. And I will also check Instagram real quick before we finish the last three and get out of here. Zoe Hoop Jewelry, thanks for joining us over there. And if you're watching this on replay, please comment replay. Later on, I'll check in. All right, so let me go to the last three. Visualize your goals this summer. The third, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. The fifth thing you must do is you must invest in your gift. And this, again, hits home. Yes, you have to spend some money. I know when the economy is tough, it's hard to say spend money. But you got to invest time, talent, and treasure. You cannot just invest time and talent. It would be easy for me to say, oh no, just invest time and talent. But the Bible says every seed produces after its kind. You cannot get a money investment back, return on investment, without putting money into the investment. At some point, maybe you're in a position where you just are doing time and talent. But I'm telling you, the times of my creative life exploded is when I put money into it and I forced myself to spend money I didn't even think I had. I did this when I started God and Gigs, and we drove up to Atlanta with barely enough gas in the car to make it. I think we pulled up and the thing went to E and stopped. So investing in your gift, investing in your craft. Yo, I have a program that's just $10 a month. And I've been honest, like, I'm kind of like getting a little salty because I'm like, I just made this $10 a month and I didn't get anybody to jump in right away. And that's when I realized it's not the amount of money, it's the mindset behind the money. The reason why people are not spending $10 on their dream is because they haven't seen that their value of their dream is more than $10. Because if you realize that your dream is worth more than $10, you'll spend it instantly. When you realize your dream is worth more than $100, you'll spend it instantly. When you realize your dream is worth more than $1,000, you will find a way to get the 1,000. Why? Because you realize that it is an equal investment that you'll get back. And I'm not saying to spend money you don't have. I'm saying stop saying you don't have it and then refusing to find a way that you can invest in the dream that God has put into your creative life, because you are going out with a closed fist. You've got to let the seed go at some point. Everything I have in my creative business that has created income, including my current jobs, including my current podcast, including my current creative life as a musician, everything was because I made smart, not crazy, but wise financial investments and things. The mic you're looking at didn't cost me more than $50. This here camera, some of this, $10. Some of it, $5. Some of it's $100. Some of this, Bootstrap it. I'm with LaShonda Brown here. LaShonda Brown is my mentor and friend, and she is the bootstrap queen. Bootstrap it, but bootstrap still means boots. You still gotta spend some money. Okay? So invest in your gift. Okay, gotta finish up. C, service. Stay connected to God. Establish your priorities. Respect the business. Visualize your goals. I should have had this all in the banners. I apologize. I should have had that in the banners. I totally didn't do it. Then finally, challenge yourself to grow. This summer, challenge yourself to grow in an area that you don't normally work on. This summer, you got to try something new. This summer, you got to do something you haven't done before. Maybe in a totally different creative area. You probably will spark something that you never thought you would do because you try something new. Challenge yourself to grow beyond your normal scope. This does not need to be a money-making venture. It could be something simple. It could be just like, hey, I want to go learn how to play pickleball. Like, why not? I've heard a lot of people talk about pickleball. Do something that's outside your norm this summer if you want to get out of struggle. Because it will change your outlook, it will make you think different, and you will find yourself doing things that you may have never thought of doing that will actually bless your creative life. Okay, and then finally, because I got to clean this up. And by the way, I want to welcome all of you who might be watching now, who just joined us. Don't worry, you can go back and watch the replay. Darren Metz, I believe. Welcome. Okay, finally, you must evangelize through your gift this summer. Evangelize through your gift. This summer, find a way that you can connect what you do with an eternal purpose. This summer, look for ways that your gift, even if it's in the secular arena, because I've always said this very clearly, this is about the marketplace, the mainstream marketplace. Most of us, I do have a position in a church, but I also am just as much called to the dance floor and to the jazz club and to the, I'm called to, some of y'all might say, what? Yes, I'm called to the jazz club. I'm called there. I'm called to the theater. I'm called to the rehearsal hall. I'm called to these arenas that are not churches. Am I also called to the church? Yes. Some of you are called only to the local church. That's where God wants you. Stay put. Some of you are called where you go to church just to serve, but you don't do so in your creative capacity. You're just as called. Find a way to connect the calling that you have with evangelizing through your gift. And that means spreading the good news. And sometimes that doesn't mean say Jesus. Sometimes it just means be what Jesus called you to be as a creative. All right, so it's 47 minutes in. I hope that helped. If you guys are all understanding now that this is what I believe you could do this summer. Okay, if this helped, please say if it helped. If it was something else, Sopranorinka, if I say that right, welcome on Instagram. So if that helped, I do have something that I want to share with you. Number one, remember, if you want to get the new news that I am going to be sharing with only the people who are in the email list, you might want to go right now to godandgigs.com/info. It is now 1:49 Eastern as I'm recording this. As of I don't know why I was saying I was like, is my audio right? Because last time it changed my audio. That's weird for me to think of that just now. That should have been checked a long time ago. Okay, I'm good. All right, so you got to sign up by 3 o'clock at least. Let's say 4 o'clock if you want to find out the news that I'm going to be sharing. It's so cool, guys. I am so blessed. But I'm not going to tell it. I'm not going to. My birthday is tomorrow. I will officially announce it on social media tomorrow. But if you want to know a day early, if you're one of those people that don't like to wait, jump on the email list. I will send this out by no later than 5 o'clock today. I promise. No later than 5 o'clock today if you're watching. Okay? Rita says, thank you for this challenge. I am all in. Yes, I'm so glad you're all in, Rita. You are the absolute rock star of this particular live. And I thank you so much for you being a part of God and Gigs Gold. And by the way, let me remind you, if you want to be a part of God and Gigs Gold, there is a way to do that. Okay, there is an easy way to jump in. We are doing a Summer of Success with this, and I did not put that banner up. Where is that banner? Oh my gosh, how did I not do that? So if you do want to join Summer of Success and join Rita in Guiding Gigs Gold, we are doing so for 50% off only till my birthday's over, which is tomorrow. So that's where you want to go if you want to join Rita in the 360 Gold, where we do monthly trainings, monthly masterminds. We have access to all of our things, including what I just shared, the blueprint. I just went through it in 15 minutes. There are over 4 hours of content waiting for you to help you level up this summer, to have a summer of success in Guiding Gigs 360 Gold. That is, again, just for this month. Normally it is $50 a month. And that would make it $600 a year. For my 50th birthday, cut it in half, 50%. Okay. So that is only until tomorrow. If you want to check that out, if you're watching this later than that, sorry. It's not, it's not you, it's me. I feel very strange doing these things for people, but I got to reward those who are willing to take a chance and take a move. And that's really what it is about those who want to take action. And if you don't prove that you want to take action, then that's not the benefit that you want. The benefit you want is something that comes whenever you feel like it's convenient for you. So this is not about convenience. This is for people who want to step forward and change something for the summer. They don't want to struggle anymore. They want to change things. And every summer I've made a big move like this. This is the kind of stuff I've had to do. Had to buy a course, join a group, do something I wasn't comfortable doing, jump in, not quite ready, do it. God honors that. So that's what you could get in Guiding Gigs 360 Gold. But what I'm referring to that is really special, and again, this is literally right up, I literally just got off the email with this young lady. So we did a podcast with Coach Sandra B. I met her at Podfest. She is a coach. She is a high performance, creative, entrepreneurial, and performance coach. Like all the coach names, I didn't know if I just butchered her name in terms of her titles, but she is the real deal. Her podcast is called 90 Day Wins. And as soon as I interviewed her, and she's also interviewed me, I think I'll be on there later. I said, you have to be a part of this. We have to do something. Your podcast is called 90 Day Wins. Like, how can we not have you do a 90-day type thing with our group for the summer? It was too perfect. It was too perfect. I was like, we have to figure this out. So, y'all, we have not even got the date officially down, but I think you're going to want to be a part of this. So we are already committing. I'm just going to put it out there. A free workshop for those of you who want to level up in the next 90 days for the summer of success. If you feel that you don't want to be the same in September, you want September to be different, you want to be transformed, you want to be on fire for both God and your creative purpose, you want to connect with the people that you're called to, you want to build the platform you're supposed to build, and you want to have a purpose that you can stick with, and you want to create this goal, this one goal. Sandra's very specific about this, by the way. If you want to go check out her episode, it is episode 285. Okay, go episode guidinggigs.com/285. Listen to her episode, and then you'll see, oh my gosh, she knows what she's talking about. She has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs and creatives, but she's doing this just for Guiding Gigs. I am so honored. So if you want to be a part of that, join us at guidinggigs.com/SOS waitlist. Now, this is not the official sign up because I don't have the official date. This is just a waitlist. Just in case you don't want to miss it, you're like, I want to be on the list. So I'm the first one to get it. So you guys will get the first chance to sign up when the date is it. And if the date is not available for you or something like that, well, it's cool. We'll figure out the whole replay thing. But you will be told first, okay? So that's guidinggigs.com/SOS waitlist. I'm going to put it in the comments as well, just so you guys can see it and maybe be able to click on it. guidinggigs.com/waitlist. Let me get rid of this as I try to type at the same time. SOS waitlist. Okay, there we go. All right. So it should be in the comments as well. Can't do it in Instagram, I don't think. Actually, yes, I can. Let's do that too. God, I don't know if I can pin it. If anybody else knows how to pin and do this stuff on Instagram, because I'm doing it on my computer. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know if I can pin that here. But that's where to go if you want to sign up first, to make sure that you find out first about our workshop that we'll do for the Summer of Success. This is a blessing. So, okay, 5 minutes. Is there anything I have not covered? Because I feel like I have gone through a lot. All the things. I am turning 50, but I feel like I am like aged 25 years in the last 3 days, because I am doing so much that it's worth it, because I'm serving my people and I'm called to this. I'm called to this, Alan. You're called to this. Remind yourself. I am encouraging myself in the Lord. Yo, I am so crazy right now. Okay, so shout out to Rita, to everybody else who was watching live, everybody on Instagram, and everyone on Facebook who was watching as well. And if you're watching on replay, please let me know you're watching on replay. I get it. Not everybody can come in live during the day. I'm one of those people. If this was on a different day, I couldn't do it live. So a lot of the things that I want to do during the day, I can't, because I do have office hours as a podcaster, and I'm in a worship minister at my church. So I cannot always come into daytime things. So please let me know if you're watching on replay. Still send this to other people. Still make sure that you connect with us through the comments. I'll go back and read the comments. I can respond to your comments. And it also helps the algorithm. Again, I don't like algorithms, but they're like the Roman roads of the Bible. You still have to travel them, and they still allow Paul to get all over the place. So the internet is like our Roman road. The algorithm is like our Roman, I don't know, whatever you call heralds, that they take news around the world, and we don't have to agree with them, but we need them to take stuff around. So you can share this. You can replay it. You can go through all 7 of the service steps. Remember, service is the antidote to struggle, but service is the key to success. If you serve your clients, if you serve your customers, if you serve your listeners, if you serve your community, God says you will be the greatest. Let the greatest among you be the servant. Serve. Use the service steps that I just talked about. Use all 7 of them. All 7 steps for the summer. All the S's, right? There we go again. 7 steps for summer. 7 service steps for summer. Is that a good way to say it? I'm not sure. But follow the 7 service steps this summer. And I guarantee you'll be in a different place in September. Things won't be the same. If you hit hard times, you'll know how to get through it. I want to be very clear about that. Doesn't mean that things won't get hard. It just means that you'll have a purpose that you can kind of lean on to. And then you'll have people around you that'll help you if you're a part of God and Gigs 360. And in a community that can keep you going, that can give you the accountability, the community, and the training and the support that you need. All right, you guys, I'm so grateful for you all. And again, if you want to find out the birthday surprise, godandgigs.com/info if you're not already on the wait list. Last little announcements I'll do. If you want to check out any of the merch we have, you can always go to godandgigs.com/merch. There's some cool stuff there. If you want to check out any of the books we recommend, that's at amazon.com/shop/godandgigs. So I'm just throwing you all the links, so in case you want to check out anything else. But the ones that are most important are obviously the wait list, okay? SOS.com. Oh, sorry. godandgigs.com/SOS waitlist. Okay. If that's the one that I'd really like for you guys to jump into, and jumping on also the mailing list if you want to find out the surprise before 5 o'clock on Friday the 31st. Okay. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I hope it was a blessing to you. So until next time, as I always say, continue to become the creative that you were created to be. Stay tuned also for the podcast coming up on Monday with my great friend Phineas. Thank you, Lashonda, for that connection. All right, you guys, I got to go. God bless.